Hey everyone, Daniel here, and this is the Phanteks Enthoo Evolv ATX. Clad in aluminum, this sharp-looking case has many features and enough room to accommodate almost any hardware you have. The Evolv ATX comes in black, gray, and the silver you see here. Going over the external features, there's no way I can't talk about the build quality. The all-aluminum exterior and steel frame is rock solid. This looks very sleek and will almost definitely stand the test of time. On the front, there's a flap at the top that reveals two USB 3 ports, a mic port, a headphone jack, and a reset button. Now, this is supposed to be level when completely open, but on mine the I/O module sits too far back, so instead of the small plastic tabs on the back of the flap holding it open, they cause the flap to rest at an angle. And towards the bottom is a bead strip that lights up when the case is on. A white LED is installed by default, but also included are red, blue, and green LEDs. The front panel has large enough cutouts on the sides and bottom to allow for airflow. It comes off easily enough by pulling on the bottom, and underneath you'll find a clip-on dust filter that covers the entire front opening as well as access to the front LED. And under that you'll find there's room for two 140mm fans or three 120s, the former of which is included and perform well. The top is completely flat and airflow is facilitated by smaller vents that run along the case on both sides. Don't worry, there's a sizable gap at the top that will allow airflow for your top mounted fans. A lone textured power button sits up here too. I was expecting it to light up in some way, however it does not on this specific model. Around to the back things are fairly standard with a vent for a fan as well as a large vent next to the PCI mounts. Then on the bottom there's a slide out dust filter for the power supply. Both side panels swing out on hinges and easily come off to be set aside if you want. First thing here I want to mention is the foam around the edges, which is meant to cut down on any vibrations of the metal panels on the metal frame. Inside you'll find tons of room for almost anything you could think to throw in here. Some eATX boards will even fit. Up front are removable panels to add in hard drive brackets anywhere you'd like. There's also a panel that can be removed to accommodate custom coolers mounted to the bottom of the case. Putting in a hard drive is simple. First, remove one of the plates so that you have access to the data and power ports on your hard drive. Then after you insert the hard drive into one of the included brackets, slide it into place and then secure it from the rear with the included thumb screws. At the back there's a spot for a 120 or 140mm fan, the latter of which is included. Up top is one of the more useful features in this case for some of you. Here you'll find a removable bracket held in by 3 screws in the back and 2 in the front that slides out to allow for easier attachment of fans or, more importantly, water coolers. It has room for 2 140s or 3 120s and of course the equivalent coolers. The power supply shroud has a bunch of vent holes for some reason, and you'll find a grommeted cutout for your GPU power cables. On the front, there's a cutout to show the side of your power supply, but for some puzzling reason, it's blocked by the side of the panel on this model. There's also mounting points for an SSD bracket if you want to show yours off. Moving on to the back end, you can see here that there is space for days. Cable management problems are non-existent in this case. You'll find a nice divot and Velcro straps for many of your cables. There's also ample space between the motherboard panel and the rear case panel. Back here are 2 SSD brackets to keep them tucked away and taking up a minimal amount of space. Next to them is a sweet little PWM fan hub, so you can plug in 6 fans here, then plug in just the hub to your motherboard. You'll also have easy access to any hard drives installed in the main compartment. Down low within the ample room for your power supply cables, you'll find 2 slots for hard drives. If you want to mount a radiator to the bottom of the case or just want to give your cables more room, this entire drive cage can be removed. Finally, along with the manual, Phanteks also includes the aforementioned LEDs, a nice segmented box with all of your screws, and 3 padded hard drive brackets for the main compartment. The Evolv ATX is an amazing PC case. All these bells and whistles, however, come at the hefty price of $180. I absolutely believe it's worth that price, and I couldn't be happier after upgrading from a previous case. That being said, Phanteks does offer cases with similar internal layouts and features, albeit not as good looking at a cheaper price. I'll link to all of those cases in the description box below. If you like the Evolv ATX, give this video a thumbs up. If you don't, give this video a thumbs down. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.